do this. Hopefully, it doesn't do nothing stupid for me. Okay. Once again, this is Mike Perkins, one half of MVP, one half of Opinions LA Podcast, one half of Mike and Vince Perkins. For this here, I am the whole show. It's been a minute. I've been busy, no excuse. I always got my phone on me, so I can always record. But I've been trying to just let things settle into space and trying to just really get a real grasp for what's going on. What up, though, Alan? Just trying to really get a grasp of what's going on in the space and the things that are really, really going on in the space. You had the Hafiz situation, you got the Obi Allen situation with Simone, with Chantel Simone, situation between Simone and Courtney Michelle. And just a lot of stuff really going on. And the word that keeps coming up is balance, 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 balance. I did a video a while ago on the idea of force balancing. I am, of course, I work for a financial institution, and we have a thing called force balancing. And in force balancing, I'll give you an example of what force balancing is. It's if you're at the end of the day, and let's say your drawer is short $10, and you counted 9 tens, but you obviously need 10 tens in order to actually make your drawer be even. And it's the equivalent of you saying, well, I'm going to count 10 tens as opposed to the 9 tens I actually have, so that my drawer is okay. And then I'll just figure it out on the other end because it's balanced. And even though it's not necessarily the truth, I'm going to, still leave it as what it is. And when I hear balance from these guys, you can't force balance the situation because it's essentially lying. And I know Ed, sort of, articulated that, but I don't think people understand how much of a lie it is to try to actually force balance the situation, because we're not in need of balance. We're in need of the truth. And I think that what a lot of guys are trying to do at this point, and look, I've been trying to gauge Obi Allen, and I don't really, I kind of can't really get, I've stopped believing that he's in it for the, let's see here, hold on. All right. I'm starting to believe less that he's in it for the community. I saw his interaction with Chantel Simone. For lack of a better word, man, as it stands, man, that was disgusting. For a guy that claims I talk to women and you all just talk about women, it didn't really give me the impression that he really is good at talking to women, especially in a situation whereas there's where he doesn't necessarily have a moral high ground. Listening or looking at what he did with her, he didn't really have a moral high ground. When you're talking to chicks that are when you're talking to chicks that are clearly out of their mind, in the sense that they don't really, they don't really have no home training. There's, overtly masculine. They really have a lot of traits that don't really, translate to being in relationships and things of that nature. You can really, really kind of box their mics, because there's no real way for them to, to come at you. You kind of have the moral high ground. But when you're talking to a woman like Chantel Simone, excuse me, keep fucking up her name, and he's every 90s R&B song that yeah, yeah. But when you're talking to Chantel Simone, and she is essentially the kind of woman that you're describing should be, like women should be this kind of way, the femininity, the of course she's in shape, she's fit, friendly, feminine, I mean, as far as cooperative, who really knows with the femininity even, but I know she's fit, she's rather friendly. I had a brief interaction with her on a Bernard show, and she seems to be a nice, a kind young lady. You know, I know I said some things on the show when I was on there too, to the effect of her, like her subscriber count, and I don't really think that her subscriber count should really be in question. I think that her subscriber count is really not a fault of her own. It's one of those things that just is. I mean, she's an attractive woman. You know what I mean? So is Danica Marie. So is Six the Goddess. So it's like you can't really kind of. What can you do with that? You know what I'm saying? You can't tell people don't subscribe to me if you like how I look. Like that's kind of like, I don't know. That's lame to me. That Obi Allen, or Allen Obi. I'm sorry, brought that up in that way. And it's this thing, whereas like with him, I don't, that's what I was getting into. I don't believe that he's doing this for the reasons he says he's doing it. Now, I don't believe he's here to hurt anybody. I don't think he's here to hurt anybody. I'm not going to throw around the word grifter because I don't really believe in that word. Using that word, I think is, you know, it can get really, really messy when you start using words like that. I don't believe him to be a grifter. I don't really know how to call it, but I'm no longer convinced that he's here to bring the community together because I know he knows more information than he's leading on. Like, too much. You know what I'm saying? It's like I know he doesn't believe that the earth is flat. I'm pretty sure he doesn't believe that. I'm pretty sure he doesn't believe 2 + 2 is equal to blue. I know he knows better. And at this point, with the efforts as far as the community building, it's really at this point in my head, I just think it's just all talk. It's all talk, and he doesn't necessarily believe these things, but he's saying them, and that's fine. It's free speech. You can say what you want, but I no longer believe it. It's not that I'm subscribed to him and I was donating or anything, but like I'm on the side of I don't believe it anymore. I thought he was a true believer. One of those pro blackity blacks that just believes everything. I don't think he believes it at this point. And I will say this: I won't go to grifter because I never want to say that. But I believe that his reasoning for doing a lot of this stuff, a lot of the things that he's doing with regards to his content, the, save your community, black men, all that stuff, I believe it to be selfish. I don't believe it to be what he's saying it is. At this point, it's just he's lying, on some level. On some level, he's lying. Let's see here. It's safe to say he's that arrogant, though. The fact that he thinks that he's better than is with his history is better than us with his history is mind-boggling. It's the arrogance part that's clear. You know what I mean? Like if you didn't get that he's an arrogant guy at this point, you're not listening. You're not listening. He's definitely a very arrogant guy. You know what I'm saying? And arrogance versus confidence is clear. It's when you have the information and you've done the reps. It's confidence, and you kind of don't have to be condescending. It's a lot of like circular talk. It's a lot of just be a man, alpha your way through it kind of talk. And what I find always to be just, what I find to be just misleading is that he knows the truth. He has I would assume like 70 or 80 shows at this point on his platform. None of those women are a part of the solution. He hasn't given us a before and after on these women. He hasn't shown us that these women have improved. You know, I even had a back and forth with him. It was brief, but it was it was a brief back and forth. It wasn't, nobody cursed each other out, but in my back and forth with him, he was not necessarily. I was like, well, where are the women that are like Courtney Michelle? Where are the Courtney Michelles at? You can't keep giving me Courtney Michelle. You have to give me another woman. You have to give me another woman. Now, my thing is, and what I was really, really thinking about is look at Obi Allen's or Allen or just Obi. Let's just call him Obi because I don't Allen. I think this is his first name, but let's go Obi. Look at Obi's interaction with Courtney Michelle, of course, because he always interacts with her, and then look at his interaction with Chantel Simone, and then look at his interaction with hashtag Black Girl. His interaction with hashtag Black Girl versus his interaction with Chantel Simone, who is pro-Black men. She's for Black men. You know what I mean? Like, she's for Black men. And hashtag Black Girl is clearly anti-us. His interaction with her was a lot more, cordial, and less contentious than the one he had with Chantel Simone. And it's just like when he doesn't have the moral high ground, of which he didn't have with Chantel Simone, he doesn't have a way to interact with women. You got to agree with him, or he has to have the moral high ground. And if he doesn't have a moral high ground, or there is no, you're not in agreement with him, he got smoke for you, And it's like this. We talk to women. He talks to women versus us. We talk about women. And then I saw the little interaction with Game Changer, and I think he's going live right now. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably end up checking that out. But I saw the interaction with Game Changer and Courtney. And I don't think that Courtney understands what people smell over there. I'm sure that Courtney's a nice girl. Let's see, somehow he's moved woke and nuanced. He's more woke and nuanced than us. Yeah, like how? You know what I'm saying? When he's not, some of the concepts over here are so, like the idea of alpha your way through it. Like when I first heard that, I was like, damn, that encompasses all the things that I keep saying dudes gotta stop trying to do. You can't just make a woman do something, or if she's doing something wrong, be a better man and then she'll stop doing it. I used to think that. You know what I mean? I'm formerly Blue Pill. Hi, my name is Mike Perkins. But the idea of like what Courtney Michelle is actually like, what people smell, what's suspicious, is that, again, just like with Obi, it's like maybe it doesn't seem like they're doing this for the community, because I think we all know the solution. I think that everybody is very, very conscious of what the actual solution is, and they just don't want to do it. And the solution is let it burn. Everybody knows that that's the solution. Everybody knows that that's the solution. Let all the Keishas, let all the Tashas and the Pookies and Ray, let it burn. That's the solution. The actual solution is to let it burn. Like, that's the only way. Because if the women who don't act right see it burning, and they're and you're either wood for the fire, or you got a choice. If the women who see it, who ain't acting right, see it burning, and they keep continuing to act in the way that they are, well, they're just wood for the fire. And what we have to do is understand that we don't owe them anything. We don't owe them anything. We don't owe them to be better men for them. If we ain't shit, find another man. Courtney is cravingly and understandably advocating for her own self. And how successful? Yeah, it's like it's like, I get that she's doing that though. Like, everybody can kind of see that that's what she's doing. What would a 38-year-old single mom, or is it, I didn't call it, because she calls herself a single mom, so I don't want to be disrespectful. Because I don't hate Courtney. I think Courtney's cool. You know what I'm saying? But what I don't understand is that, like, even though you're cool, do you understand that what people see is plain? What other position would you have as a single woman that's 38 years old? Like, what other position would you have? You can't have any other position. You have to have the only position of, I want the community to come together, because that benefits you. But let's say Courtney is perfect. Let's say Chantel Simone is perfect. Let's say those two are perfect. Where are the other women? Please show me these other women. They won't show you the other women. They keep circling their wagons around Courtney Michelle, and now they've alienated Chantel Simone to the point where it's a wrap there. They burned that bridge. I hope she don't fuck with them if she don't want to. I hope she don't fuck with them either. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not cool. You know, hashtag Black girl got more respect than she did for some reason. I don't know. And essentially all she's saying is that I agree that there's a problem, but my prescription for the description of the problem is different. I think the men should leave and go and get the best women for them until we act right. And I couldn't agree more. I think the dudes should go ahead about their business until the women act right. And not until the women act right, but while the women are getting they act right on. And if you're one of them women who are already acting right, thank you. And if you're one of those women who aren't acting right, blessings. You know, God bless. You know, nobody trying to get in your way. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, as men, we can't engage. Like, the only power you have is your power of choice. And Obi is saying, don't use it. How is that black male advocacy? On any level? Like, how is that black male advocacy? How are you for black men? And you're not even telling men to exercise the one thing that they have, which is their power of choice. Their power of choice. Which they could easily they should be able to. They should be able to say, you know what, I want to go over here because I don't like it here. It's not cool anymore over here. You know, I want to go somewhere else. And you don't want them to exercise their power of choice, which is the only power they have. And you can't lead. If you can't lead, then you're not leading. You can't lead, you're not leading. You can think you leading, but you're not leading. You are a slave to whatever conditions that you're in. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but, you know, whatever. And I don't think, and that's the thing, it's like, you know, like Ed has said it, a couple other people have said it, you know what I'm saying? Bernard has said it. It just seems like he wants dudes to, like, follow it. This is, okay, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it because I want to say it, but I don't want to say it because I really don't. I'm going to be on the record. I'm not a big enough creator. Probably won't see this. Didn't tag him in it. And I'm not tagging him in it because I don't really feel it is necessary. This is what I think that he's trying to do. I think that he's selfishly trying to put himself as a leader of men to get the best woman for him. Because he's not, all the women that he's telling us to save, he's not saving them. He's not even looking at them. He's not even looking in their direction. He's trying to position himself as a leader of men in order to get the best possible woman for him. It's like being a pastor, you know what I'm saying? And you're telling people all of the things that they need to hear in order to make you who you are so that you get all the things that they, now look, if you're part of a church, you get certain things. There's certain benefits to that, but you don't get more than the pastor. You know what I'm saying? You don't get more than the pastor. It's like he wants to be a leader of men in order to say, look at me. And then now I get the best woman. And there's money involved too. But I'm starting to believe less. And then maybe that's the definition of a grifter. I'm not saying that he's a grifter. I don't know. I don't really care to call him that. but it just seems as though like his interactions with I've seen one interaction with him in Courtney, and like they dressed up like they on a date. Like my man, it's like we can't I can't with the theatrics. I can't. And we giving Chantel Simone smoke. You know what I mean? And like that's the most that's the most blue pill shit that you could possibly do. Jumping in the middle of two women who have a spat, and now you gonna say I'm gonna get you for my girl? Like what kind of nonsense is that, man? That's the most blue pill crap in the world. That ain't alpha. You let them hash it out. The best thing you could have did was say, hey, look, that's my girl, you know, whatever. But you went over there and checked her like she was a dude. What nonsense is that? You check the whole female, and this is the thing. This is when dudes tell you we talk to women, y'all talk about women. Like, dude, ain't nobody over here hurting for chicks, dude. I hate that. I hate that they reduced the whole thing to a get bitch conversation. Like you can't get bitches, and that's the problem, dude. Niggas is losing. The same, and on Chantel Simone, not Chantel Simone, on Courtney Michelle shit. The dude who was on there, I forget his name. You know what I'm saying? I forget his fucking name, but he said in the same few words that he was having trouble having his kids, had his kids taken away from him, and then in the very same conversation said that niggas is mad because they can't get chicks. Word, dog. So it seemed like you got the same problems that every other nigga got, but when we say that that's a problem, you get mad and say we can't get chicks because we're not saying we're trying to solve the problem. The solution is let it burn, son. Sir, the solution is let it burn. Because niggas who in child support court, they ain't not getting bitches. Niggas who are losing custody hearings ain't no can't get bitches nigga. That's not who they are. They're not can't get bitches guy. Can't get bitches guy is somebody else. And that ain't even who women are complaining about. Let's be real. They're not complaining about the nigga who they not fucking. They complain about the dudes who they are fucking. They complain about the dudes that they are fucking. The dudes that they are fucking. That's the dude that got him on Obie Allen shit acting a fucking clown. That had him on fucking Kevin Samuels acting a clown. That got him on fucking the Daily Wrap-Up crew acting a clown. That got him on the Table 8 acting a fucking clown. The niggas they are fucking. It's not a get bitch conversation. It's been past get bitches. These what 19 million abortions, dude. They fucking. It ain't a get bitch conversation. If it's a get bitch conversation, that's the end of that. Just fuck black women, cause you can fuck them. Fucking them is not the issue. That's the least of the problems. Like I can't get no pussy. You really think niggas is walking around talking about can't get a woman? When the women who do have degrees, who are sort of feminine, who can be kind, those are the ones who acting out. And most of these dudes are so unaware of the problem that they're walking right into it. They're walking right into it with doughy eyes and blue pills, a bunch of blue pill Skittles in their hand, popping the mugs. I don't want to know the truth at all. Fuck is y'all's problem? And then you say it's a problem and the solution is clear. Let it burn. We're way beyond repair. The arm is gangrene. It's leprous. You got to cut the arm off. If you keep trying to save the arm, you're going to die. Cut the arm off. Let it burn. That's the solution. And look, maybe Courtney Michelle gets caught in the rapture. Maybe she doesn't. You know, I think she can get a deal. I'm pretty sure Chantel Simone can get a deal. I'm sure there's at least a small percentage, a contingency of women, you know, black women that can get a deal. I'm not saying all these women are fucked or they're screwed, but there's a lot of them that are. Ed says 80% of them are screwed. I would argue 90, whatever. That's not all. But around 10% of them are going to be okay because they operate in reality. This shit ain't nobody playing with y'all. You got all these stories that back to back to back. First, you had the loan forgiveness, then you had the fucking evictions, and you had you got the sperm bank thing going on now. 2% of black men are make up the sperm donors. 2%. And for me, it's just like, yeah, y'all are running out of options at this point. Y'all are like really running out of options. There's no real reason for guys to engage at this point. There's no real reason for guys to engage. Like for the guys who do engage, like good luck, you know what I mean? But like there's no real reason to engage at this point. It's really let it burn now because you got all the leverage. You could just let it burn and say, okay, you good? You good by yourself? Let it burn. And let them figure it out. Their pride, ego, look, they can have it. Let it burn. You got to cut the arm off. And like I say, some of these women will survive. Some of them will because they understand what the situation is. But for the ones that don't get it, hey man, you gotta let it burn. You just gotta let it burn. And that's trash. Like the way that Obi, like talking to hashtag black girl in a very like tone and engaging those women that are on your show versus actually engaging with Chantel Simone, that's just trash, man. Chantel not the problem. She not the problem. You could actually probably gain something having her on your show. She's not the problem. At least you would have 2 women that are not the problem now. Now you got a whole 2. Nigga had a problem on this show all the time and give us one girl that's a solution. You got one Courtney Michelle. And we're banking on Courtney Michelle. And the only thing about Courtney Michelle is that it's like, the crying or whatever, that's irrelevant. It's not even the crying. It's beyond that. It's what other position would you have taken? What other position can you take other than I want the community to be together because it benefits you? It's a vested interest in it for you. It's not a vested interest in it for men because the community doesn't serve men. Because if I'm to believe that Courtney Michelle is who she has advertised, where are the other Courtney Michelles? Is there a Courtney Michelle for everybody? Or if there isn't, then there's your problem. There are not enough Courtney Michelles. Address that issue, Obi. Address that one issue. There are not enough Courtney Michelles to go around. There you go. So that when enough dudes say, hey, man, just let it burn. Whoever's good, they good. If they not, they not. We'll interculturally date. We'll interracially date. SYSBM, do all the things that we need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you for? Are you for the actual community or are you for saving strags? Like, if you're for saving strags, just say that. I don't get, there are not enough Courtney Michelles to go around. Or, look, another thing that he could be doing, he could just have an eye for Courtney Michelle and is trying to prove himself on YouTube. I mean, that could be a thing. I don't know. I think that's again the most blue pill shit in the world, but none of this shit is adding up. It's not adding up to the community. He hasn't given a solution. That's one. He has no fucking solution. He hasn't had one solution. So let's be real about that. There is no solution that he has presented to anybody. That's one. 2, after he hasn't presented any solutions, you only got Courtney Michelle. Where are the other women at, bruh? Or do we have to make them act right and not put the pressure on their mamas to raise them right? And this is just about your points. This is just about what you're displaying. Fuck your personal life, fuck all that. Where are the other Courtney Michelles? What is your actual solution? Because if you don't got one, I got one. Let it burn. Let it burn to the ground. And whoever survives, fine. If you don't survive, fine. You can't keep giving us Courtney Michelle and spitting fire at Chantel Simone like she's the problem, because she ain't the problem. She said exactly what she should have said, which is y'all should go and find other women until we get our, at least until we get our shit right. And if our shit ain't right, well, then we don't get a man. That's it. I think that's as fair as it gets. Why would a quality man, why would a dude who is childless, making good income, you know what I'm saying, 70 or 80 or not, whatever your particular need is, why would that dude wait on a woman to get her mind right? Why would that man be tasked with getting a woman who is not wife ready, who is not mother ready, who is not a good woman, who is not, ready to be fed? Why would he get that woman and then mold her into something? What the fuck do I got to do that for? That's her mama's job. That's her mama's job. It's not my fucking job. I didn't build myself up to be with Keisha. I'm sorry. None of us build ourselves up to be with Keisha. That doesn't make any sense. Let it burn. Let it burn. And the women who have good common sense enough to attach themselves to a productive man, congratulations, you figured it out. And for the ones that don't, hey man, God bless. Blessings. Like nobody owes you to figure it out for you. Nobody owes us to figure it out for us. It's a lot of stuff I had to figure out later on in my life. Nobody gave a fuck. I don't want people to give a fuck. I want to actually have to figure it out. So that then when I figure it out, I can give it to my sons in enough time to where they can figure it out way earlier than I did. But I'm tasked with that. I'm tasked with making my sons into men. It's not my job to have some woman. It's not a woman's job to come in his life and make him a man. It's not their job. Just like it ain't our job to turn them into good women. We need something other than Courtney Michelle, my man. Something else. Give me something else other than Courtney Michelle, and you can be right. You don't think it's Chantel Simone? Okay, fine. You have no other women, sir. You got and it's every time I see a panel, it's her and a bunch of dudes around her. Yeah, we need to get the community together. With her, is she gonna have everybody's kids? No, not to her. She is 38. Who else's kids she gonna have? Yours? Y'all's? She can't be the center. It's too many good niggas and one woman. Because I'm going to assume that everybody is who they advertise themselves as. You got one good woman and you got a bunch of niggas. Please explain to me how that's going to work. Yeah, but that's my time, man. Like the balance shit, man, just it's wild. I don't get it at this point. I think dudes are just using words and they don't understand that you're trying to force balance the situation. Before you get Hafized, dog, you better reel it in because niggas is winding up on you. I be quiet because I'm not really a big dude in the space. So when shit get popping off, I kind of get low and get quiet. But like, dude, you gotta chill. You got to chill, especially on Chantel Simone. Like, I can see if it's hashtag Black Girl, if it's Sin G or somebody from there. But Chantel Simone, the fuck, dude? Like, and you ain't even get that kind of smoke to all these. Like, you don't get that kind of smoke to none of the problems. But anyway, man, this is Mike Perkins. You know what I'm saying? That's my time, man. I'm out.